the big drum roll? 1%.
Go ahead.
1%. You know what is really getting into making those genes active? 1% genetic contribution. It's environmental factors, obesity, and other things, okay? And those other things.
I did carry around an extra 30 pounds for much of my adult life, but people are, and then I lost that, and I've pretty well kept it off for the last
That's it.
15 years or so.
In my research, I showed that twins are identical twins that have the same sort of genes, non-identical fraternal twins that have not the same gene, not identical. And we can look at and do fancy mathematics, and it turns out genes contribute very little to how arthritis expresses itself. What you want to do is lose the weight. The weight. Okay, weight, the mechanical aspects of being obese, and children obese now in America, teenagers, young people, 20s, third decade of life, 30s. That's where the damage is happening. They've set a trajectory that starts to manifest, express itself. 50s, I see, oh, whoa, what's going on? You worn out your joints. You got to lose the weight, dude. But we could get into the weeds in that, but that's the issue here.
So if I combine that with, so I was always very athletic and very active. I played, quite a bit of tennis. I guess those two combined together are not a good marriage when you're overweight.
Well, if you do a little damage to your joints and you're overweight, yeah. We know athletes, for example, Carl Lewis, that famous sprinter. He had done damage, and he had osteoarthritis later on in life. He was sort of hobbling around. We see that in athletes, and we want to protect them. Ballet dancers, they know how to protect themselves, by the way. They know how to, they're very in tune, and they know how to rest, repair, and get back on stage. Okay, you want to repair yourself. Yeah. But you did the right thing to not only repair, but you offloaded your hip joints.
Yeah, I think I may have had a hip dysplasia kind of thing going on there too, because I always walked a little bit like a duck, with my feet. I mean, I was very athletic, but I did have this strange gait, and there was nothing I could do about it. Now my feet are straight, but I've had 3 hip operations, 3 hip replacements. Yeah. And that's another story. I'll spare you that. But so you got through Stanford, and then this is the strangest twist. Where'd you start? You were practicing there in California?
Well, from Stanford, when I finished my fellowship, I was literally pursued by the Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. And I went to the Mayo Clinic. I joined the Division of Rheumatology in Rochester, Minnesota. And, it was incredible. Mayo is incredible. Conventional care. I mean, this is the place to do medicine. Excellence in patient care. It has the 3 shields, as you know: patient care, excellence in research, and medical education. So I was in all 3 shields. Patient care. I taught the residents and fellows, and many fellows around the world. I had a hand in teaching them the excellence in rheumatology. And then I was in research. So we look at molecules, what are the new drugs, and we do research. And we also do research in development of new methods of diagnosis and treatment. And that's what Mayo gave to me, all the 3 shields. I was and I stayed there much of my academic career. But there was a problem. And I think this is where you're saying there was a mystery here. Why is Dr. Manek, on the trajectory to professorship and fame and all? I found that in all excellence, Stanford, Loma Linda, Mayo Clinic was no different, that we were actually going into drug-based therapies. But there was a missing piece, and I was on a mission. I told you I was on a mission since my youth to find the truth about healing the human body.
And drugs do one thing.
It's a very small part. It's an important part. It's a foundation in a way. But we weren't always hitting the target. There were many people who were not getting well, and I was very bothered by this. So I had this mission to find what's the missing piece. And I will say one other thing about rheumatology, and it's this. The common denominator of immune diseases is inflammation.
Mm-hmm.
Inflammation. Okay? And we deal with inflammation day and night and its consequences. Inflammation causes damage to the heart system, to the lung system, to the kidney system, to cancers. So it's not just rheumatology.